Hello, this is Steve David Kozich, Chief Spiritual Officer for the LoveMakers Foundation, a 501c3 spiritual charity whose purpose is to bring love to the world and, more importantly, to bring love to each and every person on the planet. Last week, I talked about love as the operating system of the universe that connects your highest self or God with you, or as the essence, and then it connects with your individual self here on the planet, everything on the planet. The love is that operating system that operates as essence of everything that we can physically see here in our minds, heart, bodies, and souls on the planet, and everything and all matter on the planet. Well, this week my love message is entitled Quantum Love. Today I'm going to discuss how to take that energy and use quantum mechanics to integrate it with spirituality and the impact of love. When we talk about quantum mechanics, we're talking about a branch of physics that measures and studies the smallest parts of nature, such as atoms, quarks, electrons, photons, and what we would call the fundamental particles of nature. For example, the Higgs boson, the God particle, which is electrons shot through an accelerator at tremendous speeds, and the electron breaks into pieces, and you get a fundamental essence of life at a physical level. Now, as I discussed last week, love is behind what we observe and what we are here on the planet. But as an individual, we can take quantum mechanics, and I'm going to discuss 3 different aspects of quantum mechanics that you can utilize to enhance your life and to create an awareness that we are part of all that is, and that we can influence our lives using our powers and our awareness of what's going on in the universe and on the planet, mixed with intention, and then to get what we want out of life and connect with all that is. The 3 things I'm going to discuss is number 1, the power of observation. Number 2, the power of intention. And number 3, what we call quantum entanglement. And I'm going to try and make this fast. I told Deborah that I was going to try and keep this so we wouldn't go too long today, but it does get a little bit complex. So as I said, quantum mechanics is the study of all of the atomic, subatomic particles that really make up physical matter here on the planet. Let me start with light. What happens, and it's very interesting, with light, before an observation, a particle exists. When another piece of light, another photon is shot through and connected, it connects with the other photon and creates a measurable situation. In other words, you have all these particles, they can't be measured unless they're joined with another particle. And we'll talk about that. That's quantum entanglement. But the key here is that when you observe this, or in life, if you observe anything, guess what happens? It's the observer effect. That is, you as the observer affect what you're observing. That's science. That's using the connectivity of all that is. Knowing that you as an individual can affect anything that you observe. Now, the good news is that when you observe anything, you affect yourself, but you also affect that you observe. Now, when you use intention, you are able to shape and to some degree what we would call manipulate an outcome or the thing observed. Also, it's going to impact you. So that's one reason you want to be aware of the power, for example, the power of love. Because when you use love and your intent to shape reality is done with love, what happens? Well, what happens is that anything that you're intending reverberates internally and externally, because you become a co-creator of the universe. And you can apply this to anything, because when you observe life through pure, unconditional spiritual love, you collapse a reality. Just like when I explained what happens is when you have two photons, they collapse, you can measure it, the same thing, and it becomes a wave. So two particles to put together, you collapse and it becomes a wave. In reality, what happens is you observe something with the intent of love. You're now using that operating system, okay, which is behind the physical reality. I hope you're following this. Behind the physical reality. And what happens is the intent of love collapses with reality. And it collapses in reality to your highest intent. And if it's love, it collapses into healing, transformation, changing your reality, and reaching your highest self. Therefore, it's a discipline. Observing life and what you want in life, observing it with love, is going to raise the frequency. And it's a practice. You have to do this moment by moment. That's one reason I'm always saying, live and love each and every moment of your life. That's your potential. And once you understand that, and once you understand that you are co-creating everything in your life for yourself and for what you're observing, what happens is when you practice gratitude, your consciousness opens up. When you're thankful for something, you're sending a wave into the field of life. Every emotion that you have shapes your frequency. Every act of kindness reorganizes the universe. It's your intent. Number one is the understanding of the observer effect and knowing that you're part of the universe and that you have the power to affect everything and anything in your life. That's science. But here's the key. When you use the operating system of love, your consciousness opens up to all that is and all the possibilities and the potential. It's just science. Now, an interesting thing is that, in my opinion, quantum love is the most powerful force in the world. You understand it, you use it with love. But there's also a very interesting effect called quantum entanglement. Quantum entanglement occurs that when, the way two particles interact, as I said earlier, when they interact, they remain connected forever. We're made up of energy, right? That energy is made up of particles and waves, starting from the smallest matters, whether it's the Higgs boson particle, the God particle, whether it's an electron proton that forms atoms, the atoms that form molecules, that form cells, that form life, that forms all of matter. It's all there. It has to be connected because that's reality. Was it connected, everything would disappear. Everything would be like the universe, entropy expanding into the universe. When you have love, when you have life, you have unity. When you understand that we're all connected in your consciousness, you'll understand that this is the spirit of truth. This is the spirit of unity, the physics. It's the physics of unity. We're all connected because we have to be. If we weren't all connected, there would be nothing, would there? When we're entangled, what it means is that no act of love is ever lost. The connection is never broken. No prayer goes unheard. No heart stands alone. When you love one another, you're just increasing the bind that connects us all. My conclusion is this, that we're entangled in God, that we're entangled with one another. And whatever God is for you, your highest self, somewhere out at the end of space, whatever, that we are entangled with all that is, that we are entangled with God, that we are entangled with one another. It is beautiful, isn't it? So, as you go into the weekend, know that you're the observer of and you can observe anything, and that has an effect, a significant effect on the universe, that you're co-creating the universe. 2, know that your intent matters. And when your intent is love, your consciousness opens up, amazing things will happen. And 3, we're all connected. We're entangled to God. Dear God, know at this moment that love is the most powerful force in the world and is the essence of the universe. And we connect with everything that is this moment and know that we shall observe life with love and be the observer. Know that we are of the world but not in the world. Know that we are a force and a power that is infinite. We declare, and I declare this moment, that we are absolute love as the observer of life with the intent and the infinite potential of all that is and connected to all that is. We thank you for this power, this understanding, this awareness of love and of science and of God. I release these words as absolute truth and thank you and realize and recognize the power of the infinite source of God this moment and release these words into the universe as absolute truth. So it is so. Amen. So it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. I wish I had hours to discuss this. It's fascinating, but it's scientific truth. And when you can combine scientific truth with spiritual truth, it's unmistakably a reality that we want to live and that we want to evolve into. You know why? Love is the way. Hey, check out our website, LoveMakersFoundation.com. Check out our YouTube videos. We need more subscribers. We need more views. Know that our love is with you. Deborah and I, call us. We'll entangle you with absolute love. Go in love and remember, love is the way.